What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Happy Friday, everybody. If you're catching this on the live, come on in. Come on in. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comments section down below. Hope everybody is doing amazing today. Thank you for rocking with me. Appreciate that. Really, really do. We got a lot. We don't necessarily got a lot of things to talk about, but we have the sentencing that happened today with Donald Trump. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Rob? What's up, Carol, Joe, Renee? Hope everybody's doing amazing. It is Friday. It is Friday. Is it the first? It's the second week. Yeah, the first full week of 2025. First 2 weeks came out with a bang, didn't it? It came out with a bang. Oh my gosh. There was just so much stuff happening today. Or these past 2 weeks, excuse me. Sorry. My coffee's kicking in. Anyways, we got the Trump sentencing today, which is this crazy bullcrap case. We already know what was going on with that, right? Just a pure travesty of money spent, and at the end of it, there's no conditions, no prison time, no probation, no fine, no punishment. It was just a bullcrap ploy to get this gentleman's reputation completely tarnished. It was complete trash. You know, we know that the judge of this particular case donated to Biden. The judge's daughter was a Dem operative. It was complete crap. Let me turn off this music. What's up, Terry? Yeah, it is complete crap. What's up, Gina? Gina in the house. We got the day ones in the house. What's up? Let's jump into this sentencing real quick. We already know what happened because it's steaming across the intro webs. Let's jump into this.
Out that court is over. The sentence has been imposed, an unconditional discharge. And as we bring in Mark Levin for his commentary on this, Mark, Judge Merchan imposed no jail time, no fine, no punishment that anyone can discern, with the exception that he is now branded Donald Trump with a scarlet letter of a big F on his forehead, that he is a convicted felon.
Garbage. Absolute garbage. It is so garbage. This sentencing occurred 10 days before inauguration. Can you believe this crap? And, you know, does the big F really matter? Does it matter? No, because the people still voted for him. I still voted for him. A lot of you guys in the chat still voted for him anyways. You know, it don't matter. We saw through this crap. Absolutely saw through this crap. And then CNN is absolutely losing it, right? Judge Merchan reportedly told Trump ordinary citizens don't get this kind of protections. But what was interesting is through this entire bullcrap trial, the citizens, us, me particularly, and you guys in the chat, identified that if the justice system can do this to, at the time, a president that was running, or a candidate that was running for presidency, if the justice system can do that to them, what can it do to regular people, regular, civilians? Listen to this crap here.
Most interesting statement from Judge Merchan just a few moments ago before he left the bench was acknowledging Trump's election win. He was saying, ordinary citizens don't get these kind of legal protections. It's the office of the presidency that is bestowing these to the office holder. And he said, it is the citizenry of this nation that recently decided that you should once again receive the benefits of those protections, essentially acknowledging that, yes, because Donald Trump is going to be inaugurated in a few days, that is changing the sentencing here. This interesting statement.
It's a bunch of crap. I'm going to jump into these comments real quick. What's up? What's up, Gina? I am doing absolutely great. It is Friday. I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I got some stuff to handle over the weekend, but I am doing absolutely great. Terry says this whole sentence was a load of crap. Just being able to call the convicted felon by the lefties. And you know what? They're going to use that bull crap. They just basically, at least in my opinion, giving him a scarlet letter to say, oh, this is this gentleman, to tarnish his name. And these guys will do anything to tarnish the name. I was watching the brief interview a little bit earlier today with Benny Johnson and Andrew Tate. They did the same thing with Mr. Tate, pushing all these allegations towards him and things like that. Dan says, what happened to the Russia thing? The red wave has spoken. Exactly. Yeah, that is exactly what they're saying now. They're saying, oh, Trump's a convicted felon, blah, blah, blah. It's crap. Rob said this trial was the biggest waste of taxpayer money. It really, really was. I don't know. I don't remember off the top how much money was spent for this particular case, but it was crazy. It was crazy. This thing lasted forever. And at the end of it, no conditions, no prison time, no probation, no fine, no punishment. So why'd you do it? Why'd they do it then? Just a bunch of waste. It's sad because now we see that what they can do and how they do things, just wasting money. The judge will be known as the most corrupt judge ever. I'm going to jump into this audio. Trump went on this, he just went in on this one.
Been a very terrible experience. This has been a very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system. This is a case that Alvin Bragg did not want to bring. He thought it was, from what I read and from what I hear, inappropriately handled before he got there. A gentleman from a law firm came in and acted as a district attorney, and that gentleman, from what I heard, was a criminal or almost criminal in what he did. It was very inappropriate. It was somebody involved with my political opponent. Part of the records that we're talking about, they're saying, I just noticed where he said I was falsifying business records. Well, the falsification of business records, as they say it, was calling a legal expense in the books where everybody could see them, a legal expense. In other words, that legal fees or legal expense were put down as legal expense by accountants. They weren't put down by me. They were put down by accountants. I didn't call them construction, concrete work. I didn't call them electrical work. I didn't call them anything. They called a legal fee or a legal expense. And for this, I got indicted. It's incredible, actually. Now, if you look, my attorney alluded to it, the top legal scholars and legal pundits in this country, the ones that are quoted all the time on television, that are making their views felt and highly respected people, have said, everyone, virtually everyone that I know of, I haven't seen any to the contrary, not one, and none. These people are not exactly friends of mine, to put it mildly, but they all said this is a case that should have never been brought. It's an injustice of justice. Very respected Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, Judge David Rifkin, a wonderful man who just passed away, by the way, Greg Jarrett, Ellie Honig from CNN, of all places. CNN said that. Paul Ingratian, Alan Dershowitz, they all said this is not a case that should be brought. It's not, think about it, legal expenses are down as legal expenses, and And I get indicted for business records. Every damage my reputation so that I'd lose the election, and obviously that didn't work. And the people of our country got to see this firsthand because they watched the case in your courtroom. They got to see this firsthand, and then they voted, and I won and got the largest number of votes by far of any Republican candidate.
I'm on mute, my bad. I think honestly, all these situations with this case, the Carolyn Jean case, all of these other cases, and the would-be assassin, and all these other situations, honestly, propelled Trump to win the election. That and him being who he is. That is just my personal opinion on this. And this really just showed the corruption in the Justice Department. Renee says the biggest waste of money having Biden and Harris trying to run the country and make millions off of American people, pure corruption. Yep. The whole charge was a political stunt. Yep.
Candidate in history, and won, as you know, all 7 swing states, won conclusively all 7 swing states, and won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. And they've been watching your trial, so they understood it. I wasn't allowed to use the lawyer-client privilege or the reliance on counsel. I had a lawyer that made this deal, and he admitted that. And he was also a totally discredited person. We weren't allowed to use the information from the Southern District that totally discredited him. It wasn't allowed to be put in. And that was terrible, unbelievable. And this is a man who's got no standing. He's been disbarred on other matters, unrelated. And he was allowed to talk as though he were George Washington. But he's not George Washington. He shouldn't have been allowed. The Southern District did a book of approximately 28 pages where I've never seen anything like it. They excoriated him. You wouldn't let it be put into evidence. So he was able to testify as a witness, and I think it's a disgrace to the system. I was under a gag order. I'm the first president in history that was under a gag order where I couldn't talk about aspects of the case that are very important. I guess I'm still...
That is crazy to me. Those of you that are just joining right now, the sentencing for Donald Trump, here are the situations. There's no conditions, no prison time, no probation, no fine, no punishment. Just pure political stunt regarding justice and lawfare, trying to cultivate election interference. Just a complete waste of time. Absolute complete waste of time. There was never a case in this situation. You know, just kind of giving some reference points to those that are just joining in. Connie says the left thinks they won, but they lost because Trump is still going to be president. And you know what? With everything that's happening now, I feel specifically what's happening in California, a lot of those that might turn red. California's going to for sure turn like a dark red. This is just my personal opinion. Robert says, Trump wins again, Democrat Party in shambles, best president ever. Yep. These woke people thought this would be me. Yep. The fact that the judge is compromised and should fully be investigated for taking money, I guarantee he colluded with the White House either personally or through his daughter. Yep. You know, and it's interesting, same thing too with the Fannie Bobanni case. Nathan Hot Dog Willis or Nathan Hot Dog Wade he went to the White House several times prior to this, or prior to that court case getting going. I'm lost for words today, guys. I just got some caffeine in me. I'm jazzing up right now.
So probably I won't do it now.
Anyways, we know what's happening here. Let me just fast forward.
Is very much involved in this case. It's because that's the political opponent they're talking about. The DOJ is very involved. You have a gentleman sitting right there from the DOJ who was from the DOJ's office. He was also involved with the New York State Attorney General's case.
Joe says California is literally turning red. Like literally, it literally is on fire. It's crazy. Yeah, Terry. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so last night, apparently, Los Angeles police arrested an individual for suspected arson after 80 acres have been burned in the West Hills. So they're seeing that maybe a couple folks lit some of these fires in California to help it burn. What's up, Riskin' My Biscuit? Hope you're doing amazing. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. But they're saying that I know that they arrested one individual.
We were sort of wondering why there are so many police out here. Obviously, this is a fire scene, and we've been at fire scenes for the last couple of days, and it didn't really make a lot of sense that more and more LAPD were showing up, and then the crime scene unit also being out here. So we spoke to the lead officer in charge, who you saw there, and he was very open about it. He said that they believe the Kenneth fire, which is the latest fire to start here in LA, now at 900 acres, give or take, they believe that someone did intentionally set it, that this is now officially an arson investigation. He said this whole area behind me, the canyon behind me, they're calling now a crime scene, and that they have a person in custody, detained, who they are questioning. Apparently someone in the area may have seen something. Now someone is in custody. But when you think about what has gone on, we were sort of wondering.
Now, it makes me wonder, right? If there were some individuals in California that are pretty disgruntled about the mismanagement and just in general, and I've been staying up to date on this regarding the news out in California. There are some bad apples, right? But maybe there's something a lot deeper involved here. There was some footage of an individual that I watched that drove around on an e-motorcycle and showed the devastation of these houses that were completely, or these vehicles that were completely burned, but the trees above were not burned. I understand that some trees get water from the roots and so on and so forth, so it could preserve and protect some of those fires. But some houses were burned, some areas were not burned. It's just a very interesting thing. And we had brought this up last time or yesterday on the live regarding, this is very reminiscent to Lahaina or Maui, where certain sections were burned and other sections were not burned. I don't, Hollyweird, a lot of Hollyweird celebrities, I just got to be careful because of the platform, but a lot of Hollyweird PDFers, okay, PEDOs, their homes burned. So I don't wish any negative things to happen to anybody. But if they're doing stuff in that capacity and their homes burn, hey man, that's karma, right? Riskin' My Biscuit said Hollywood sign is gone, burned down. Really? I did not see that. I got to check that out. Oh man, let me hit the Trump dance real quick. I'll hit the Trump dance. Hold on, let me see what kind of music I got. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Oh, man. Oh, you guys are a hoot. Yeah. So, all right. The only people who will be able to rebuild fast, zero regulations, are the millionaires, DNC donors. because Gavin Newsom will make sure the houses are built with zero regulations. And that's the interesting thing too. A lot of those houses were built a long time ago, in the 70s, 60s, 50s, and the regulations were a lot different than the building codes right now. So in order to rebuild some of these houses, they're going to have to go through new regulations, new guidelines, and things like that. But you're right, Riskin. A lot of these individuals that do have money, they're going to be able to pull those strings and get those homes built a lot quicker. Adam Carolla from The Man Show yesterday stated that, and he made a good point, that the homeless encampments, those individuals that are living in Winnebagos, they're going to be back. They're going to be back here. They're going to have new beachfront property with their Winnebagos, living out their Winnebagos. What is up, Deb? What is up? Yeah. There was my mind said evidence being burned. Yeah, all of it is in the ground right now. Once fires burn down, my uncle owns a construction company. We're probably going to go and get a few bids to help clean up LA and help them rebuild. Awesome, man. That is awesome. Virginia said Trump asked Newsom to resign yesterday. He did. I think there is an actual petition going out right now to have Gavin Newsom resign. Now, listen to this too. Los Angeles placed under mandatory lockdown curfew. Does that sound familiar? LA County Sheriff Robert Moon, right, orders nighttime curfew in place for fire-affected areas. Catherine says, it sounds like a land grab. It might be. I think it might be.
What I want to go to next, and we started talking about this last night, is a curfew. A curfew order has been established for the Palisades and Eaton fire areas in all mandatory evacuation zones. That will be in effect. It was in effect last night, and it's going to be in effect tonight at 6 p.m. So it ended at 6 a.m. this morning, will take effect again until 6 p.m. I'm emphasizing that to our media partners because part of this is communicating to the public. You cannot be in these affected areas. If you are subject to arrest. What I want to go to next, and we started talking about this last night.
Sounds familiar, right? Sounds familiar. Deb said, I just remembered my friend lives in LA. Thank goodness she's okay. My prayers go out to your friend. I actually have quite a few friends out in LA. One of them, actually, their house is gone. It's gone. And then another colleague was actually working on a remodel project near the Palisades. And they had just started construction on this particular project. And it's gone. It's gone. Risking My Biscuit says, Trump's been warning Gavin about this catastrophic fire since 2018. And just recently last year on the Joe Rogan Experience. Yep. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is bananas to me. Anyways, this individual actually caught Gavin Newsom while he was walking to his car. I'm sure some of you guys have probably seen this, but Gavin Newsom, this was shout out to Sky News for sending for getting this footage here. But this woman confronts Gavin Newsom here.
Governor, you got a second? Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
He's a liar. I'm literally on the phone with the president right now. But the call's not going through. I'm literally calling him, but the call's not going through. You're a liar.
Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the
Why
call.
is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through.
Why?
Guys, do you believe that? Do you believe him right there? I just want to know in the chat. I'm calling the president right now, but the call's not going through because I'm not pressing the call button. Do you believe him? Mighty Warrior says, Newsom reminds me of a great used car salesman. Yes, with less, well, his hair is pretty greasy. He does. He absolutely does. Gavin Newsom is just going to use the words like global warming and climate change as an scapegoat to cover his faults. Yep. Let's continue this.
I have to get cell service.
So let's
There's no
get it.
cell service.
Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now. And it's to immediately get reimbursements, individual assistance, and to help you. I'm devastated for you. I'm so sorry, especially for your daughter. I have 4 kids. Losing the school.
Everyone who went to school there, they lost their homes. They lost 2 homes because they were living in one and building another. Governor, please tell me, what are you going to do with the president right now?
We're getting the resources to help rebuild.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
It's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be. Has to be. Of course.
What are you going to do?
I'm doing
To
everything
fill the
I can.
hydrants. I would fill them up personally, you know that.
I literally have.
I would fill up the hydrants myself.
I understand.
But would you do that?
I would do whatever I can.
But you're not. Do you know there's water dripping over there, Governor? There's water coming out there. You can use it.
I appreciate it. I'm going to make the call to address everything I can right now, including making sure people
I'd
are
like
safe.
to make sure you do. Can I have an opportunity to at least tell people you're doing what you're saying you're doing? Could somebody have a contact? Can I have your contact information?
Right there.
Everybody in the chat saying he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. Rob said he's a liar. Mickey's he's a liar. Gina says, yeah. Why don't you call Hell and tell them that you'll be there soon? Oh, Gavin Newsom has taken out my gas stove from my house. How does that stop wildfires and calm global warming? Exactly. It is crazy. Complete bullcrap. Debbie says this lady that was on this Sky News confronting Gavin Newsom was on Newsmax. I'm gonna see if I can. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. If you got the link, Deb, send it over, and we'll watch it. This was actually coincidentally Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was on the Joe Rogan podcast last night. If you guys haven't watched that, I'm about a quarter way through watching it. If you guys like the Joe Rogan experience, it's Joe Rogan, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was actually in Austin, Texas, doing this interview, and he mentions like, "Oh, my house is probably going to be burnt to a crisp." Anyways, unfortunately it was. But here's a quick clip. I got to jump in and out of this clip, particularly because of copyright purposes, but you know how the YouTube works.
Yep. Yeah, we were just talking about the wildfire situation and how crazy it is that they spent $24 billion last year on the homeless.
Yeah.
And what did they spend on preventing these wildfires?
Zero.
Not zip.
And in 2019, I think Newsom said, I'm going to take care of the forests and maintain the forests and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. And then on top of that, they cut the water off.
They cut the water off. They reverted the rainwater off back into the Pacific to save smelt fish.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad. It's like the place is just on fire.
Well, the whole state is just so poorly managed. It's so frustrating and confusing. And then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great. Mm-hmm. And California's the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. You've ruined this state. Personally ruined it.
Well, it's the same team that was up in San Francisco, and they came down to L.A.
Yep. Gina says that she watched this interview yesterday. Great interview. I recommend you guys checking it out. It's a great episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. My voice is cracking now that I was doing the Gavin Newsom impression. It wasn't a very good one, but did you know, Risking My Biscuit says, do you know what Gavin Newsom could have told her? We are cutting the regulations and red tape so the city can be rebuilt in a couple of years, not 10 to 15. They could say anything, right? And same thing with Karen Bass when the reporter caught stopped Karen Bass when she was on her way back from Ghana. She could have said anything. But she decided to say nothing. Gina says a fish that was almost already extinct anyway, none of us would have missed it. Same. Yep. Gina says Mel Gibson is creating Passion of the Christ 2, The Resurrection. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I did like the Passion of the Christ. They should make Gavin Newsom sell his multi-million-dollar house for sure. That's a whole nother situation. This gentleman bought a $9 million home on a $200K salary. Okay, how does he do that? The only thing that's used for smelt for around here is bait. Yep. And I think that was the main concern is for bigger fish in the ocean. They were reducing their food supply, but they can get it somewhere else. Now, this is an older clip of Ron DeSantis. They had asked him about Gavin Newsom.
President-elect or a president to be criticizing.
Is it appropriate for people in your industry to try to create division and to try to create narratives anytime these things happen? Now, you're not as interested in doing that because Newsom is a D. If Newsom was a Republican, you guys would you would have him nailed to the wall for what they're doing over there. And I know we've dealt with it. We just assume in Florida, anytime something happens, it's going to be politicized by the media. So you guys sitting in judgment of Donald Trump, I mean, excuse me, I think your track record of politicizing these things is very, very bad.
Okay, last question. Newsom should resign and that the wildfires are all his fault. So do you agree with those comments?
I remember when we had the Surfside Tower collapse, I had people from the Washington Post trying to blame me for it immediately without having any facts or anything. Oh, he didn't declare a state of emergency. First of all, state of emergency doesn't mean you can't respond. It's all that. Excuse me?
Biden did it. I think that's what you said.
Well, but what I'm telling you is you guys are trying to make an issue of it when I have watched from this seat. In fact, when I got elected governor, I was meeting with some of the other Republican governors, and what they would say is, hey, if you have a natural disaster, just know media's coming at you, they're going to do it. It's not the same. That mayor of LA, if that were a Republican mayor, I could only imagine what that would do. I mean, the fires are at high risk, and you try to go to Africa or wherever she was to go on some type of voyage. You should have been there preparing and doing that, and yet I don't see a lot of heat being directed in that thing. And so, I'd like to see some balance on how this is done. You could criticize the president-elect, but I think you also have to hold these other people accountable, and I have not seen that.
Yeah, I agree. There hasn't been much accountability regarding the mayor of Los Angeles or Gavin Newsom. I personally like DeSantis. Catherine says, tell him DeSantis. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy to me that they're not really talking about the mismanagement of the city and the state of California. Mainstream media is corrupt. Yep, we don't believe ABC, CBS, NBC, all lies. It's crazy. This whole situation with LA just being toasted to the ground is absolutely crazy. Donald Trump was at Mar-a-Lago, and they asked him the question about the drones. You know what's interesting? Because our news cycle is so quick now, there's just been so many things that have occurred over the past 2 weeks that the news cycle is so quick. it's almost like the media had kind of forgot about the drones, and Donald Trump, Ducey asked Trump about the drones, and here's what he had to say.
A story that kind of disappeared very suddenly. Do you have any idea whatever happened to the drones?
What happened to drones?
Well, you said that you knew you thought the government knew what was happening with these drones over New Jersey. There were some by Bedminster.
I don't know. They're over Bedminster a lot, so I can imagine. I'm going to give you a report on drones about one day into the administration, because I think it's ridiculous that they're not telling you about what's going on with the drones. And it's not only with me. Glenn was telling me today that in Virginia they have drones all over the place too, and nobody's reporting it. I don't know why they're not. Do you want to say something about that?
Just one quick comment, which is we are home to the largest naval base in the world in Quantico, and we house a lot of the SEAL teams and have a huge national security infrastructure. And now for 2 years running, we have had drone incursion over secure airspace, and we still don't know why. And I think that's absolutely unacceptable. And I think President Trump and the new leadership coming in, I think, will work diligently to understand who's behind this and what we do in order to stop the digital surveillance of all of our secure infrastructure.
Is it dangerous?
Well, I can tell you this. While we were dealing with a terrorist attack in New Orleans, we had drones being flown over our nuclear reactors in Louisiana. And we brought that attention to the FAA. We've been asking the FAA to give these states the ability to mitigate these drones, and it's sitting on some bureaucrat's desk. And that's real.
Nobody knows. They don't want to talk about it. Go ahead, Governor, you're going to say?
I was just going to say we have drones in Wyoming flying over our infrastructure as well. And it's incredibly frustrating that we not only have no way of knowing what it is, but nobody knows how to deal with them.
They don't want to talk about it, and nobody knows why. They don't want to talk about it. That could be us sending drones. I hope that's the case, us doing it and doing research, and maybe they don't want to talk about it from that standpoint. I hope it's not an enemy, but we're going to find out on the 21st, the day after. You have to give me a little time for the inauguration, but shortly thereafter, we'll give you a report on it. We'll tell you exactly what it is. They know, and it's very strange that they aren't talking about it.
He said the 21st he's going to release it. He's going to see what's going on. Catherine says they hardly mention North Carolina. It's so corrupt. They know exactly what they're doing and making people look away from the truth. They do. North Carolina, you know, again, I say this all the time, but my prayers go out to those individuals that are in North Carolina. They're in the middle of winter right now, and a lot of those individuals lost their homes, their livelihood, and they got $750. FEMA's not there to support them. Hardly mentioning that. You know, they're hardly mentioning the drones. This is the first time that I've seen that it's been brought up since that individual came out saying that they were potentially looking for lost radioactive material. Some radioactive material was lost in the ports of New Jersey. And the individual said that they were, you know, doing these drone searches to find this radioactive material. What's up, Simply Serene? Hope you're doing amazing. But Trump said that he's going to release this, and we're going to see what's going on. Yeah, King Bull says, I bet Trump will release the Roswell files as well as already admit everything is some interesting stuff. Yep. 10 more days till daddy is home. Oh, man. And then yesterday, you know, if you guys were on the live yesterday, we talked about Jimmy Carter's funeral. Obama and Donald Trump looked pretty chummy together. Peter Ducey also asked that. This video is from Ovation Eddie. So shout out to Ovation Eddie.
What were you talking to Barack Obama about?
It did look very friendly, I must say.
That is an image.
It's
I mean,
good.
you don't see it's always striking whenever you see any of these people who were political opponents.
I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it, how friendly it looked. I saw it on your wonderful network just a little while ago before I came in, and I said, boy, they look like two people that like each other, and we probably do. We have little different philosophies, right? But we probably do. I don't know, we just got along, but I got along with just about everybody on that. We met backstage, as you know, before we went on, and I thought it was a beautiful service, but we all got along very well, which is good.
We do not need 4 years of a wannabe king, a wannabe dictator running around trying to punish his enemies. That's not what you need in your life. America's ready to turn the page.
Interesting.
It just goes to show that the Democrat Party and the mainstream media in which they were representing and trying to cultivate a particular image to Donald Trump is all fugazi. It's all fugazi. Rob said this country is going to be red for generations to come, and I do believe that. I do believe that. I think people are tired, absolutely tired and fed up with the way that these people run these states and letting people come in with these open borders and all this other bull crap. It is bananas to me. It is absolutely bananas to me. Terry says there's people living in tents in the middle of winter. A lot of people didn't get diddly squat in NYC by FEMA. They didn't. They got $750. Maui, I think, got $700. Who knows what California residents are going to get? Some of you on the live yesterday were saying $750, $800, but still, what is that? Like I said, two grocery trips, 2 grocery store trips in California. Crazy. Crazy. Simply Serene says it's absolutely amazing that it's amazing that people absolutely can't stand Trump. Had a conversation with him and it turns out positive. Trump has a way with people and uniting them. Yes. Yes. What's up, Alan? Hope you're doing amazing. Simply said, they're going to get $751. Yeah, that's going to help them because, predominantly all they have in those areas near the Palisades and Malibu, they got Erewhons and Whole Foods, some of the most expensive grocery stores on the West Coast. Erewhon, you're paying $30 for a chocolate. Crazy. Risking My Biscuit says, the next greatest president of our lifetime is about to make lives the golden age of America. And I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I think a lot of things are turning. A lot of tables are turning. A lot of things are moving in a direction of more common sense. More common sense. Anyways, let me just run through these chats real quick. Dude, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. I really, really do. Thank you for spending the Friday morning with me. You guys are getting some more claps. But I wanted to give a shout out to all the moderators in the chat before I jump off, and shout out to everybody in the live chat. I'm going to stay up to date with this information regarding California. Hopefully it dies down a little bit. I'm going to look up the Hollywood sign here. See, I'll probably put that on the next video, but anyways, I'm going to jump on out of here. Again, shout out to all the moderators in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section. And I'll be back later on today. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Smash that like button if you haven't. Do it. It helps with the YouTube algorithms. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'll see you guys later on today. Chat soon.